Alrighty, everyone. Hi. How's it going? How are you doing, folks? Give me just a second. I'm going to send out all the links necessary for things. And we should be good with a lot. Okay. So we have a new kind of, stuff. A new thumbnail for things. So I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay. All send out. Hi always, glad to have you here. How are you? Hoping how's going? I'm early. That's a first rare. Yee. Oh my, oh my. Alrighty. So, folks. We've done some changes on YouTube, for example. So, first of all, huge difference with how things are going to look like and go. And yeah, I've got more or less an idea for the illustration that we are going to have. I just kind of wonder how we are going to go for it. But yeah. Hello, Muto, hello. I guess we are going to work on the. So I want to make this an illustration, so I'll want to have a background on this. That's the difference between illustrations and character arts. Don't allow this difference to, fool you. Yeah, also it's so darn hot in my room. I hate this. Okay, so, let's see. I've got already everything prepared, by the way. Like, I've got an illustration, I've got, I've got already a file prepared, everything. Like, I'm really happy because it makes me, like, feel different when I'm starting with everything already, set up. So I guess we are going to get in and start, we are going to start drawing. This week I'm also going to think about topics that I can add for DAA and deep dive. I probably want to figure out couple anime of which art style I like, which is going to make couple differences because I'll have to look into changes. I have to turn on the anime again and get some frames just to get into. Hi Addison, got over here. How are you? Hoping how's going? Realize my name changed, but a valid Addison has appeared. A while, yeah. Hello, hi, how have you been? Chemo, right? It's chemo, yeah. Good. How about you? I've been good. I'm going to draw an illustration of Akame from Akame ga Kill. I've changed the thumbnails. I missed your streams. I missed you on the streams too. That's good. And oh, yeah. Like, I've changed the way how I'm naming my streams now. Wait, actually, hold on. Hold the fuck on. There's a thing I wanted to do. File, time lapse, record time lapse. Yes. Okay. Yeah, now it's going to make much more sense. So yeah, I kind of want to get into a bit more into how to say this. I kind of want to get a bit more into the working on a project, and I started it a month late. It ends on the 11th. Onyo, doing circles is hard. Yeah, that's true. Hi Jox, I got Evie here. How are you? Hoping how's going? Love the new thumbnail. So glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. I was wondering if the new thumbnails are going to, like, you know, get become likable, because, like, I've used to have one thumbnail. It was just always the same one with sketching. Now I'm going to change the. I'm changing the streams thumbnails based on what we are doing, right? Like I have already prepared stuff, so I just need to like just change things, change the names. I can see thumbnails on DC. I don't know why. I think having a variety of thumbnails is a great idea. Yeah, that's one thing. So basically, here's the thing. So far, I wasn't treating YouTube to the point where I would want to do stuff to make my channel grows. Like, I didn't want any of my like channels to grow. I in the last year I've had a realization. You know, at the start, only links. Huh? That's bizarre. Oh, it might be some inside like settings of your Discord. So basically, in the at the beginning of 2025, I've had a realization. I wanted to do some stuff, and I was like, oh, and it hit me. I want to grow my YouTube channel. It's not like I don't want to. So why am I doing this to myself? And I finally managed to, get around things. I am now I've changed some graphics. I've made the banner of all the accounts the same, and just basically you know and I've basically made it just so it would fit in and work. I've made the new avatar for my channels. So last year I've kind of worked on the branding. Those were the last elements of the branding. We are going to also do sketches. I'm going to make drops of sketches basically. So like, you know, every week there are going to be drops. I think on the Discord I'm going to set up either I'm going to set up a special like a poll for people to give the character ideas. So like name of the character and series they're from, so I could easily look them up and just build upon this my new list basically. So it won't have to be an anime character either, because you'll be able to add like video game character or um or mm, or VTuber basically, right? Sounds interesting, yeah, because believe it or not, I've made for myself a randomizer. Finally. So I've made an app in which I can create a list of the characters, and whenever I hit the button, it gives me the character from the list. Zega shows how to draw circle, clicks on circle tool. True, true. Oh, yeah. So basically, I might even make. That's cool, actually. Yeah. So I might actually make, for example, at the end of the Sunday marathon, because yes, we are going to kick in things with the, Sunday marathon and such. So we are going to have 3 streams. They're all already planned. That's another thing I've changed. I'm going to make changes. I've made like I think right now I've made like most of the changes. 3, yes, they are going to be split between some like elements, but on each stream we are going to sketch different character, no matter if we are going to finish it or not. I want to stream until I'll finish them, but if you are going to be at 2 hours and I'll see that we are very far away from finishing it, I'm going to put that character on the side to finish it off stream, which, yes, I'm going to start also finishing stuff off stream at this point when it comes to the sketches. So yeah, we'll see. I've got a backlog of sketches. I've got 3 drops pre-made before even starting. When will stream be? I'll set a reminder. So basically all times are going to be in CET. One is going to be of course at 7 p.m. One is going to be at 2 p.m. and one is going to be at 10 a.m. And that's like the Sunday's marathon thing. And you can expect that this one is going to end at 12 a.m. Or, yeah, 12 p.m. Sorry, it's p.m. So that one is going to be end at 12 p.m. This one is going to end at 4 p.m. And this one's going to end at 9 p.m. Basically, right? It's like 2 hours for each. You never did the Sunday marathon? Yes. I wanted to make them, but I've never had the organization and a push for this. Now I kind of have a bit better push for that. Not like every day, but on the Sunday. Okay, what day? Sunday. This Sunday. So it's going to be 11th. For me. Nice. Yeah. And yes, I've never did the Sunday marathons, as I was promising. Also, it's okay, Jaxa, it's okay. To zone out to organize my drawing supplies, goddamn. Might miss one stream. I got free bowling night. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, hanging with old friends. That's like, yeah, that's really important. And randos. Oh my. Why randos? Oh, friends of your friends, maybe. But yeah, I'm going to. It's a city event. Oh, I see. Okay. So basically, when it comes to the marathons, yes, I've never did them. I was planning to make Sunday marathons. Sometimes we've had 2 streams, but now it's like, already, you know, already decided that I'm going to do those. So I've planned out that on Sunday I'm going to have mostly a rest day. So I'm not going to really do much from the planned stuff. When it comes to like things like my game that I'm working on, I'm going to, after the stream, finish the UI thing, because that took me a while. Also, don't mind me, I've typed in dynamic sword pose anime and I've got something like that. So like over here there's like reverse grip katana. No, it's not reverse grip, the hand is just rotated, okay? And here it's like, I still can draw human body. Oh my. Don't worry, you'll get it at some point. I drew creatures if you want to see later. Of course. Remember that everyone can send the artworks in the things, on Discord. I do it right now. Be right back. Alrighty. So this is going to be an illustration that I'm going to do of Akame from Akame ga Kill. I guess this is how it's going to look like. I guess the pelvis bone could be bigger, and that means, yeah, maybe something like this, right? Because she's a woman, so her pelvis bone is going to be wider. There we have it. Pelvis Presley. Finished. I'll be lurking while drawing. I'm gonna be drawing some more than Grandpa fan art lol. Let's go. Let's go. Danganronpa. Danganronpa. Dangan. Oh my. So yeah. Send it. That's nice. That's nice. Can't wait to see. I've started watching Frieren. So far I have like the vibes that this entire anime is just about Frieren making a journey because she felt hard the death of her friend, and basically she felt like, you know, it hurts her because she actually have started to have some kind of a feeling to him, but it turns out that he's actually, you know, already dead because she's an elf and lives like 1,000 years, and this guy was like, you know, a dude. So for her, like, 10 years is like, I don't know, a year for us or something like that. It's a bit deeper if you pay attention. I mean, yeah, because like free rent is like, I don't know. She has also been already well over 1,000 years old. E. um, no spoiler. Oh, sorry. So, so far, meanwhile, my Lucy Addison, who's already dead. Don't talk about her and her husband. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my. So basically, Freeran is like very like apathic, antisocial, right? And I assume that she became like that over many years of like just when she was trying to make friends with people. And the issue is that, you know, she literally couldn't like get herself to um building some kind of emotions. Every elf is like that. Huh. Oh well, I guess I'm not really that far into the anime. I'm on episode 6 only from 28. But yeah, for now, Freeran just seems like she's starting to open again. I guess there's going to be some deeper stuff going on beyond what we have. Also, she seems like she's really into like, you know, peeping and stuff. Why do you want this spell? Because this spell is the spell that dissolves, is a very corrosive spell that dissolves clothing. Oh my. This spell allows you to look under people's clothing. And some like spells in this world can be like rewritten and used for something else. Tell when you finish, I'll show a fun thing you will miss. Okay. Okay, set a reminder. Gonna go eat something. Alrighty, alrighty. Also, my like side of my arm burns. It's like, you know, from dragging it across the screen. Let's draw, yeah. Yeah. You have to go, or not? You're going to put music? Oh, wait, hold up. I've totally forgot. Folks, I've got some stuff I'm going to flip. Is that okay for you? Or is the music too loud? Lower, imagine. Like this? Haha. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm going to check, like, I'm going to make sure that there are no problems on the YouTube side with that. I'm going to flip if there are going to be, because it's not like any kind of official song. Kicks in the door. Yes, you're stealing from artists. Yep. I mean, if there would be any song I could play in the background and stream, I would do that. But I was kind of forced to, you know, back in for this by the freaking chill hop and such. By the way, just now they finally managed to respond to me. They've responded to me this morning, basically. And like, you know, I understand that, you know, people want to play songs, right? I understand that it's still like kind of the same drill that goes with it. But like, you know, at this point I'm kind of desperate to make it run like this, because I really can't stream without music in the background, and chill hop is not doing anything. I'm hoping that they're going to like straight up get into the solution for this issue. Also, I've progressed a little bit with One Piece. Just like to point out how people in the art community react very differently to AI learning to do images or music or write a code. Yeah, you know, like that's true. That's true. Again, I find it as a tool, so please don't blame me. I'm just doing this for the sake so we could have something in the background. If Chill Hop is going to fix their crap and finally allow me to play the music normally in the background, I'm going to get and switch back to it. It's a little loud though, okay. Like this? Better, okay. So, you know, the thing is that, like, Strava, I was pushed to that because of Chill Hop and the way how they've blocked, you know, blocked me from usage of this. I can't play the video game songs because I don't have, like, playing that specific game on my YouTube. So I'm kind of, like, locked out from it. At least I hope these songs are going to sound good, because I was just listening a little bit to them, you know. Please let me know if you like them. But yeah. But I'm not telling this because I think we know each other's stance on it. Well, yeah. Hell yeah. Is going to be her chest. I don't remember. Wait, because I've had the pose so far turned on only. Hi Maurice, glad to have you here. How are you? Hoping has gone. He's doing a silly little dance in their enclosure. What? Akame from Akame GT. Alright, graphics. Okay. Okay, she's got a relatively bigger chest, if that makes sense. Maurice, how are you? Hello. Feeling a little sick. Ooh, I see. Hope you'll feel much better. Cool pose, thank you. I found some photos on the internet. It took me a while, but, and again, I didn't want to make this. You know, I didn't want to make things take God knows how much on stream, so I've decided to look on the thing. It would be easier if I could just generate like a reference photo for it with some kind of tool, but I've seen the voting, I've made a poll just because I wanted to know what are your stances for it. I didn't partake in this poll myself, but I've seen that it's like more or less 50-50, but well, actually there's bigger chunk on thing not to use any tools like that for generating any kind of reference photos, so I'm going to resort into doom scrolling through Pinterest, maybe off stream, you know, prepare stuff on Mondays because I'm going to have days off. It's just going to take some time, and you know, in the same time I could take care of other projects or other stuff. Well, yeah. I've made the poll to honor it. References are not reliable since they don't get proportions right most of the time. Yes, but you can have like positioning. So like the character can be placed in certain way, but you can still position it to have like proper thing. It's not like like when I'm looking at the references, I don't really check if they are proportionally okay, but I'm checking if they are dynamic or something like this. Because I understand my proportions and I'm not going to be influenced by messed up proportions from the photo. So in general concept of it, I can just take any kind of photo, even if it's unreliable anatomy wise or proportions wise. I have a bunch of boards on Pinterest for poses and reference. I can send some in the server if you want. I mean, I've got some too, but it's just doom scrolling, you know? I'm most likely it would be the same. I would just jump between board to board and just scroll through it. I would click on a photo and it'll be like, nah, not that, nah, not this. It's just like, you know, this kind of thing. Hi Skylar, got over here, how are you? Hope it has going. You can give it something maybe better, but it's limited a bit. Limited? Yeah, for pose that art has a bunch of sword stances. I see. I see. Yeah, yeah, but like, you know, I can still manage. I'm just going to rummage through stuff and, well, I guess I'm going to take Zega's thing, but since it's a bit limited, you know, it's going to have a bit, I'm going to have still a bit more problems. Sometimes speed is not necessarily good in art, so I guess patience wins. You can pause them too? Oh, okay, so I can just do the thing. Okay, gotcha. Alright. Also, if someone was wondering, yes, I do have the 3D models, the 3D marionettes to use in Clip Studio, but you have to have an idea for the pose, right? So like that's my problem. Again, aphantasia. It sucks. I've managed to draw so many years without usage of AI or any kind of tool for drawing. I've learned stuff myself and been posing characters myself too for most of the time, even with aphantasia, so even though it would take longer, I don't mind. It was just, you know, it was just an offer. Yeah, it was just to check your stances and give an offer to speed things up, because, you know, faster things, better, like more artworks done in the same period of time, right? Because I've noticed that my sketches are not taking as long, by the way. They're starting to take less and less. For example, today I've managed to already sketched out like crap load of characters. And I don't even joke. I've managed to sketch, make 6 sketches, plus some like side drawings that were, you know, just some doodles. And I have to say, it was like, it's crazy. And I know that I've speed up because I've measured my time, and previously I was doing throughout the same amount of time that I've spent, so since 11 till 16, so 5 hours. In the span of 5 hours I was doing 3 sketches. So I've doubled my drawing speed already. That's good. Long legs, yes. But they're actually like, you know, the ball was somewhere here. Yeah, they are reaching a proper length. so they are not really long. Maybe I could... Wow, what's up? 2 bots back to back? Really? What kind of bingo we play? Oh my. So, by the way, folks, I hope you don't mind my question regarding that one thing, you know? I hope that it didn't, like, made any stance against me just because I've asked if generating references is going to be good for you. Yeah. Okay, hold up. Bingo, yeah. By the way, I've learned recently that bingo is considered gambling. I had no idea. For us, bingo was just like some, you know, a game. Who was lucky enough to get the bingo first? Maybe sometimes people were having prizes, like special lottery bingos, but they weren't monetary prizes. You have to pay entry fee and there are prizes. That depends. We've had bingos without any kind of prizes and the entry was free. It was just for fun. You know, to like mark the numbers. And yeah, there are also those with prizes and stuff. Hi GTA, got over here, how are you? Hope it has going? How have you been? Since this is the first time around, so hope you find a coffee corner here. Got this recommended on my home tab. Good stream, not gonna lie. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear that. Lateria, yeah. Oh my. Boobas on the screen, hell yeah. It's Spanish bingo. Isn't it just lottery? Oh wait, yeah. And for some reason I'm always forgetting that. You know. No? Huh. Well, yes and no, I see. And sometimes I'm forgetting that same word can be used in different, like, meaning of it. Oh my, oh my. I'm wondering if the pelvis is, well, dynamic enough. You know, or the legs in general. I would say that maybe, like... Because it would cut here. Wait, let me redo it. So we have that, and maybe we could make her, like, have, like, her pelvis like that. So she would be like this. And then we could give her a leg like this. And this leg could go like this. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That looks much better and more, you know. For some reason I want to say more natural. I guess she's like unnaturally like bent out, so yeah, not really natural. She looks like she got some lordosis going on her freaking spine. Damn, I'm the only on YouTube side. I think there were people, they are just hanging out, you know. People quite often come around and draw with me. So they're not really active on YouTube directly. But they're in spirits. Where are the others? They're drawing. Kimo went to eat something real quick and should be back. Joxa is on YouTube. It's just drawing for now, you know, a little draw along. Okay, now the body seems too small. I'm in crisis mode since this morning. Why? Oh, the thing? I see. Nah, don't worry. Don't worry, really. Like, you know, if it's about like some kind of project, it's going to be a bit difficult because you're going to look at what people have and you can't start doing stuff. I see. I mean, you've been working on the thing, weren't you? So what happened with that? Also, Akame has like really muscular legs for some reason. It's in some folder. What? Oh yeah, for those who have a crisis when it comes to some kind of project, creative or not, you know, a game or can't even do a freaking dice. I mean, dices are always difficult to make, and from what I remember, you've already had a solution for that, so why not going for that? Okay. Amazing handsome face. Oh my, oh my. Oh my, Skylar. The morning? It's night for me. Yeah, it's already 7:43 for me. Oh, did I make you blush? Oh my, oh my. So, yeah, for those who are struggling with projects or like starting or getting things done, remember that whenever you are, I don't know which, oh, thank God your girlfriend not here to see this. She is. She is. Just on Twitch. Oh my, she's on Twitch. Oh. Hello. Oh my. Well, you snooze, you lose. What? You. What the? Oh my. I'm going to stay quiet. Oh. Oh my. I can't see any of you there. Climbs down from the window. Why are you looking through my window, bro? I wanted to make a comment about this thing. Wait. Just checking. Oh. Oh, so it's not yet a rest day. Oh. Wait, what do you mean a rest day? Or was it a rest day? Huh. No idea. No idea. So basically, whenever you feel like this, remember that, for example, if you're comparing yourself to others, like someone might, you don't know for how long someone have been working on their project. For sure, it's not like, you know, it wasn't built in a day. And relatively, if you see that you are already, like, let's say you are working on something for a week and you already have like some kind of demonstrative technological demo, you know, kind of thing. And you can already feel a bit better even, because like this is something that comes to people. It's just, well, I kind of see. Oh my. So basically, it's like a fight. It's what artists are going through. when they are like comparing themselves to the others. So basically, if you are comparing yourself to someone else, when someone has 4 to 5 projects with devlogs, I can see how fast they are. Yes, but how many of those are actually about to be finished? Because they're spending time juggling between 4 to 5 projects. And it's like, oh, I've done progress on this project, I've done on this project, and they're like starting new projects constantly. Like, you should have only one thing. Also, the devlogs have like, they're back to back, they all finished. Also, devlogs, I've noticed quite often are pre-recorded and or are recorded when there's already like a huge jump in things. So there might have, don't do multiple projects at the same time. I see, I guess. But like, compare the dates. I doubt that they finished their things quickly. Started to make a game in June, stopped in July because I realized I ain't ready for that. Oh well. Well, you know, that goes off, you know? That does go off. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. So yeah. I don't even know how my shitty game last year was so popular. Because it doesn't have to be like God knows how popular, you know? Oh my Muto. Man. I'm just saying. Oh my. So yeah, like, the thing is that you don't need to be like ready for stuff, but because like you still need to kind of like when there are hundreds of more fun with better visuals, that's the thing, Zega, you think that this is like that you think this is the case, but here's the thing, games don't need good visuals. Look at Undertale. It doesn't have good visuals. It's not like shaded, the pixel art is not like detailed. Look at Celeste. Like, sure, maybe the backgrounds might be some like highly detailed and such, but like it's not the point. It has an atmosphere and emotional impact. Yes. So that means that if, for example, for you, you are unique in your own way, yeah. Like, you don't look at other people, work on your project, figure out what in your head is fun and share it. Yeah, but then have to find out how to be unique. You don't have to be. It don't have to be. Like, for example, my art style. My art style was built on Reno Tuna art style. And it evolved into something that kind of straight looks like it, but it's straight off a little bit. It created a branch from it. It wasn't for graphics. I just ain't creative. Finish an online FPS game though. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Oh well. Well, actually, are you not creative, or you can't really imagine an idea? I'm not really talk about visuals, I can solve that. Yeah, but like, that's the thing. You have really interesting idea already on your planner, and I believe you would be able to nearly finish it. Not only that, if you, for example, finish some of those systems, you can reuse even like the entire game as some portion of, for example, fighting system and such. or mini game for your other game that is going to be bigger? The card game or the roguelike novel? Both. Both. Card game deck builder with dices, with roguelike and like novel kind of storytelling. So basically with roguelike you have predispositions of a run that is allowing you to go through some stuff, unlock cards, and each loop is allowing you to keep the cards, but when you are restarting the loop you can only pick from the cards you've already found to your deck, basically to start with something. And then you have, for example, an entire novel-like story for each run that you are kind of building with the cards you are finding and basically, you know, your decisions. And like, it doesn't matter if the entire story is going to repeat and stuff, you can even make it skippable. Are we talking about poker? Hi King, got to have you here, how are you, hope how's it going? I mean, the story for my single player game wasn't the best, but what made me quit was because I didn't know how to animate 3D models. I knew to make them. I'm learning to animate as well. Well, yeah, animating with 3D models you want to like find already made animations because it's good for like to having like recorded things. But sure, it's a good idea to mix the two, but the dice mechanic can be used as battle system for other games. Yes, exactly. So like I'm trying to just kind of portray things. So like you can build that game you're working on right now with the dices, right? But then you can like stray out the code of that peculiar system and put it into some other game that you are going to have an idea for. And like, for example, you've I think last time we've talked about it, you've mentioned that you don't feel like you're patient enough for things, right? Well, that is also dealable, because it's also a thing. People want to already, well, people want to work on stuff, maybe for GTA, if you can rig, you can download and retarget Mixamo animes and then just edit them to fit your needs. Yep. Yeah. As Zega says. So you just need to rig your character properly. Yeah, but cutscenes. Still, because like it's just going to be probably like gesticulation, like moving your arms and such. There are like, I think, talking kind of things. Also, if you want just close-ups where the character is not going to really move a lot and you just need the mouth to move, if you have the rig, you can just move the mouth up and down. There's some method for animators, and 3D animators are doing the same thing. They're called claps. It's that you're fitting the mouth on your model or basically on your animation. The mouths are changing between A, O, I, O, E, right? Like all of the vowels, and basically they're like sort out, right? And it's just played on repeat, same kind of animation like this. So it makes like very specific like movement of the mouth. But when you're adding the voice, it actually looks like the character talks. And it's a very specific way of doing this because it's actually fitting for any kind of language. Every single country animates like talking like that. So there are all kinds of activities on Mixamo. Yeah, exactly. So like all you just need to do is like thinking what kind of Mixamo you can get, I guess. Davis, this is the final week. I'm finished my animated project. I'll show you when it's done because I really want an opinion. Sure then, sure. The player model was so unique though, I started using him as a mascot in every of my games. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, so Zega, don't compare yourself to the others, because you don't really know how much in total they've spent time on it. Because you can only oscillate how much you think they've spent on it. I've seen people also doing like game like devlogs, right? But I seen a guy who had like a devlog, like devlog 1, but the project was already like 2 or 3 updates after the state of the game from that devlog, and there was no other devlog. It's a moment where he made yet another update and he made another devlog. So basically people are working on those things. They are making just small little like changes, small little updates, and keep on pushing the game, because as long as the game is already in a playable state, you can already like show it on itch or something like that, because people are going to play it even though it's unfinished. Like for example, well, you've mentioned about some shitty game you've made a year ago, right? So basically people were even like giving you an opinion, probably what you could add or change or just, you know, do around. And if you would keep updating the game, most likely like the game would evolve into something greater. Yeah, but if the market is full of people doing this shit for 20 years, then it's kind of futile to try to make something. No chance to get a kick in the ball. No, you're wrong. You're totally wrong. On itch, people are playing new games like hell. For example, especially if it's someone who never really appeared anywhere. Like, you even had the visibility of how your project was going on the last year, right? It wasn't like it wasn't like you didn't get the kick in the ball because it was going really far. You just weren't really updating it, so it lost the impact. And well, people are still coming back from it, I assume. Well, coming back to it, that what I wanted to say. That project was weird, yes, but like I'm not telling you to come back to it. I'm telling you that I took it down. I see. So like, okay, your project, that project was weird. You didn't like that, but it doesn't matter that that you are not going to have the same effect on any other thing. When the payment processor thing happened, I see. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, the thing with it is that you are just now having an imposter syndrome. You're literally like kicking yourself in the balls right now, having like thoughts that your game is not going to be good enough. Meanwhile, your game is going to be good enough. It's most likely going to be better than most of those games that you point out that they are so good and all. Because I doubt it is going to be like that. I remember you mentioned you can't imagine stuff, but why focus on the half-empty part of glass? No, Davis, use your potential to unimagine things from reality. Don't unimagine me. No. Fuck, now I imagined. Oh no. What, unimagining things? You know what? I see. Yeah. So, like, don't get it too much to yourself. Like, okay, cool, those people... Actually, this is something I've told you some time ago. People were doing games... They could go... So basically, people were making games for a while, as you've mentioned, Zega, right? And basically, as you... Well, they were building their research lab. They were doing some basses, soundtracks, sound effects they've made in the past, tile sets, so they can mix and match, settle art styles, refresh things into something new, redo a game with some with some kind of like bases reused. Like for example, if I'm going to finish my tile set and I'm going to finish my character set, I'm doing this as basis. So I can take that tile set and I already have like most of the things already used. And if I'm going to sit down and like, oh, I would need that, I just need to add that one specific like tile that I need for my game, because everything else is already done. Same for the basis for the character sets. I've already got like 4 directions of walking. If I'm going to sit down and like, oh, I would love to have like 8 directions of walking, I just need to add 4 directions to it. I already have a style for that. So like those people most likely already build like some kind of like, you know, structurized references and bases for their games, and they are just reusing them now for those. That's why they might also make a bit faster progresses, because they like, if you look at some of their games, most likely they're going to have reused elements from all like other games. I think you've also pointed out once that one game was reusing some older projects code and graphics or animations or something like this. So like, keep that in mind. It really makes sense to keep working. You know, don't put things to the side, and that is actually accounted for everyone here. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Work on your projects. Don't look at others. You mean the Yakuza games? For example, yeah. Yakuza games are just reusing a lot of elements, a lot of resources from previous things. So Zega, for example, you see now the thing, like a good, you know, element. Yakuza is literally reusing their own resources from like previous versions of the game. I've read why the Yakuza 0 has better textures from the original Yakuza 1. So the original Yakuza 1 had worse graphics. It got better graphics because the textures were when they were making Yakuza 0. Well, Yakuza 0 came out a bit later. It was like a prequel after first 3 games, I believe. Right? So first it was actually Yakuza 1, 2, 3, and then they went like, okay, wait, hold up. Yakuza 0, because we've skipped actually some informations. And then you've had Yakuza 4, 5, 6. You know? And then they went back, oh, actually those games are already a bit older, we can port them to Steam. And instead of making Yakuza 1 and 2, they've made Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2, which is actually a remake of the Yakuza 1 and 2. And they are also reusing newer textures. So it's literally not that difficult, just work on things, build systems, and later on it's just going to be easier for you to like pop those projects as they do, based on what you say, right? If this is what really is in your eyes. But like, yeah, don't surrender just because like someone is doing something. It's not like, to be fair, if there was a team and I just had to do the coding, I would thrive. Everything else is the problem. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, ain't it? But you've mentioned that, you know. Sound advice indeed, yeah. So like folks, if you have a project, if you have a dream, just keep thriving for it. And sure, you are going to have ups and downs on it, but like every team has it, even team. Now imagine, games are usually made in teams, and you are working on that game on your own, alone. do you know how much more workload you are putting on yourself? Random projects on each I helped to code all died on the art or writing parts. Yeah, and like art are like not a problem for you because you can manage, and I know it. And writing parts, well, you've mentioned you're DMing games. It's literally like telling a story of a game. Like, a game is your DM, so you have to like make the game kind of do what DM would do. And I guess we've talked about it also in the morning. I've shown you how my game makes the interactability, right? So basically I'm looking what's in the room and I'm trying to make interactions for every single object in the room because I know that people are going to walk around and try to interact with everything. They might even interact with walls. You never know. So like, if you want to, like, DM is, of course, DM is going to allow for a lot of things. So if DM is going to allow for many things, it won't really mean that, you know, there are going to be some kind of issues with things, you know, or anything like that. So like, well, if sometimes DM is going to reject some action, it's not like bad. Like, sure, it's a good DM that allows for everything, but sometimes DM has also find a balance between what the player can do and what not. Well, doing all these animations would take a long time and no idea how other people do such good quality compared to mine because no guide or tutorial of course. Maybe there's a tool for this. Or they have someone who's rigging for them. Like, they commission someone who already managed doing the rigs for X amount of time and just get, you know, professional grade rigs. Also, your rigging is not that bad. I would say it's also really good. I've seen like really shitty rigs, like the rigs where the character hands are, like, arms are literally popping off of their body while walking. And some of those games were triple A's or like released huge indie games, basically. So it's not even like a small indie game on each made by people. Those were like huge teams that were working on indie games for some time. And also, if you are going to plan to have the same type of character, the only thing is that will be left is going to be like, just, you can remake like a base model for like a naked character, and then like clothing and such is going to be the last part that will need to be rigged. So the only thing that you'll have to do is going to be like just rigging the clothes on top of the character, same with hers. So that's already limiting your workload on spine animating. So just rig like a base character, doing all actions that you need, and it's going to be easier for you to make like child bones that are going to work for just for the clothing parts and stuff. You know, it's also not really that difficult. I see that you're in the breakthrough stage. This is something I've talked about relating to art. Breakthrough stages are the moments where people either quit or actually break through and proceed with stuff. So it's not difficult when you try to do it. Say it's not difficult when you try to do it. I mean, I know it's difficult, but I'm saying that you could possibly limit the workload from yourself if you would find the golden ratio for it. You don't have to make God knows how many body types, because for each body type you'll have to make the different like rigging and such. But if, for example, you are going to have just like, you know, two body things, it should be good. Also, you're most likely going to just exchange that base for the character, right? So you're going to just place on the hairs and stuff. So you would still have to do all the same workload along with the rigging of the character's body. Anyway, so you're like cutting the workload in half because you are not going to have, you won't have to rig the body itself. All you'll have to do is just going to be rigging the clothing. And sure, you are going to have like different, for example, elements of when I make not when I make scenes like the previous, every one of them is different in different position. I guess. But then like there are also like scene limited things. Like that's something that a lot of people from RPG Maker scene are doing. Oh, composition in different composition. Yeah, sorry. So basically, you're only rigging the elements and characters that in specific composition that need this. You don't need to do a character in the same composition if it's not going to be usable for that composition. Because I've noticed you really want, at some point you really wanted to like have everything rigged for everything, kind of. That for sure, yeah. Also, something I've learned from trying to cooperate with the guy is actually making a proper scope for the game. You want to start with a small game that you are going to build upon. Oh, like 1.5 years ago I wanted to go very universal, yeah. So like, just, you know, just chill on that. With the circles and everything, yeah. But like some rigs can also be copied and pasted. If you know that, for example, you have Lamia, let's say, so the bottom half is a snake, you just need to copy and paste the bones from the top half of the body and then just rig the, you know, the lower half. I did not even do circles this time. And it turned out really well. It turned out really good. I don't even, yeah. Remember that you didn't really work on your project for a little bit either. So basically you've kind of lost some work time on that project. I'm not telling you to constantly work on things, but like, you know what I mean. You've had a break from stuff, which prolonged your working element. I guess during the break you could also work a little bit on, you know... I have like 8 pages of doc, I see. Okay, so I guess you've been working on it by writing things down in a document. That's what I wanted to say, like, just writing things down. Here's the thing, you can manage art on your own, but if you really need help, I can help you write a story. You just need to let me know, well, what do you really need for your thing, and I can help you write it, no matter how, like, specific it would be. I'm trying to release a book, actually, so, like... And I know more or less a premise. If there's going to be something wrong or not understandable, I'll be able to, like, you know, explain this to you. I'm not saying, like, I'm a pro story writer, but, you know, at least I know how... Like, at least I might be able to help you with that. My game has really like simplified story, but it works with the way how it's written, so I assume that it would also be good. Maybe, you know, maybe just a help with, like, let's say first segment, and then you would, you know, finish a lot of stuff on your own. And I think story is different. I don't know how to extrapolate stories from small point, but here it needs to be a bit backwards, then expanded with fluff that makes a lot of sense. Not quite. Not quite. You just need a story. Like, you've seen how I wrote it. I've made it based on a tutorial, by the way. I've been writing this based on a tutorial. The guy apparently been doing his indie games like that for yeah. So you want to write it as if you would be telling this to your player, but at the same time you have to make the moment the player can move, it's you have to figure out what the player would do, and then write those interactions into the game. But you have to have a narration of your story. That's why I've been doing this also a little bit backwards, because I've wrote They Can't Move. Initially it's a novel. So even better, novels are linear. They even have chapters and stuff. They're just visual novels are called visual novels because it's a novel. It's like a book. So you just tell the story. You don't have to do anything else. Yeah, but this one is not very linear. All visual novels are very linear. Some might have decisions that are going to alter the endings or cause some actions, but it doesn't mean they are not linear, because there is a line to follow. This is not a visual novel. Well... Oh, you've said novel because it's like a novel-like story, you mean? Please? Aww. Aww. So, basically, it's because it's mostly text-based, I see. So, here's the thing. Wait. New thing. Here's the thing. You have not story, right? So you have an actual narrative story. This is your narration. What I've done was using something I've learned from book writing, and I've used first steps of the snowflake method. I'm using it a lot, but it's actually one of the best methods I've went. It makes, unless I do some exploration map and that kind of stuff, was considering, but it makes the scope even bigger. Well, also depends, but yeah, but you can also add those things later on, you know? So let's say you have I've made the first step was one word sentence. No, one sentence description. So I would know how I can very simplify the entire story. So for example, for example, for some elements, it's let's think. A high school boy helps his crazy scientist neighbor work on his car, turning out to travel many years into the past. That's literally the one sentence description of Back to the Future. And it makes sense, right? You can kind of make out the thing, but from that you can also build something else, right? That's the thing. That's your thing. Then 2, you want to build that into 3-sentence long description. So this way I know the beginning, middle, and end of the story. And 3, there's 9-sentence description. This way, I know how story extrapolation works. Yeah, I guess. So basically that's the thing. Then like, you want to, I guess you would want to write down like all of the endings. Figure out, you know, routes to those, so which you've already got. But it doesn't work here. Of course it would work. It always works. I've literally done that extrapolation for my game story. Of course it's an RPG, so it might be a bit different, but it's also like a very heavy on the story game with bunch of exploration and such. So it's more or less kind of what you are more or less going for, right? So basically then I'm using that, and I have like element of the story. So for example, the character wakes up and goes to out of yeah, the character wakes up, eats its breakfast and goes out for the newspaper, but sees a giant red dragon obliterating the character's village, for example. And this is the moment you're letting the person do stuff, and you want to think like what are going to be the first things, and like coming back to the home, looking around the home, interact, and like for each one of those you also have like, you know, spreads for what is going to go into that. If you do the extrapolation method, your story will lack of twists and turns. Also wrong, because it will. Because you have to just insert them in there. It's really not about that, because you have to figure out the you have to figure out a hardship, right? All of this started with drawing stream, by the way. Yeah. You put the story in stone with the first sentence. Also wrong. You are making a huge description of it. So I can say, oh, today I've worked and done some stuff throughout the day. But then like, how was my route to work? How did I wake up? How the work things went throughout the 8 hours. Then there can be like hardships at work, boss yells, or something like that. I have some kind of realization. I'm placing out the paper to leave the work, but all of that happens during me being at work, and I can shorten it out. So like, no matter you think you put things into stone with the first sentence, but you really don't. You're just describing this story, and you build around it. You extrapolate this, but then you are making very quick descriptions of start, middle, and finish of your story, and then you are extrapolating from that to have another 3 sentences for this start, middle, and the end. So this way you have much more things, as you have like a description of like base of the story. Maybe they didn't experience playing against me. I want others' decisions to form the story. And you can still do that, but you still have to focus on the story. That's why a lot of people have so much issues, because there's a book story, comic book story, video game story, and tabletop game story. All of those are made differently, but they are around more or less the same principium. like for the tabletop game, you have to focus on the live reactions of your players. So it's going to reform based off what your player is going to tell you what they want to do based on the thing. I need someone to tell me they want to go out of the tavern and check Myers bird and bank security instead of picking up the quest. Yes, but in video game you can do the same thing, because you don't have to limit your scope. You don't have to limit your area. You can allow you are starting in the tavern, but you can allow the player to leave the tavern or talk with people in the tavern, go to the... We are going in circles, Devi? Yeah, but like, you know, I guess I was thinking a lot about this, you know? And I guess like your main, like when it comes to the stories, like it might be the thing that you really lack someone telling you what they do live as the choice is going to happen. In the game you have to limit things a little bit, because they can offer up to 100 choices in a text-based game. Yes, true, but you, like how much you also can't allow your players to totally refurbish your story if you really want them to play that story. If you want to allow them for a total sandbox, you just don't write the story, do you? You just make a sandbox, and there's also a game genre for that. But if you want to tell a story, you have to somehow make the player do those things. That's why you want to limit them, right? And I bet you've had to make limiting decisions to your player's team to actually push the story a little bit, give them a little bit of a nudge, right? So like, the way how much you are going to limit the game will only limit your scope. The more open your game is going to be, the bigger the scope is going to be, because of course the more things to check, choices and stuff is going to actually make. But, and basically, you know, I guess in the games you can't really have that kind of, well, story-driven games, especially games that are mostly text-based. You can't really allow yourself for your players to like rummage free through every single room, right? Because some rooms have to be also for, you know, out of the order for a certain element. Well, of course, it would be cool, like in The Witcher, right? You can go kill some kind of a monster, go to the village, talk with someone, and the guy is like, oh my god, what do you have there? You really killed that griffin already? And come to think, we were looking for your help. Here, this is what's supposed to be for killing that monster. So, like, literally, in The Witcher, you can still more or less have that. Put cauldron on their head and steal their cheese. Yes, like in Skyrim. Sure. Are you capable to do that in the text-based game? I guess so. Is it going to just give you more work? Yes. But it's just a matter of scope that you want to go. That's why I also feel like your scope is a bit, you know, off, you know? You can really do that game. I know it. It's not even like about believing in you. I know that you can do that game. You just like started spiraling because you've started to comparing yourself to someone. This is why I'm strongly against it, because no matter what you are doing, if you start comparing yourself to someone, it's always going to bring the same thing, a feeling of being inferior. It's really not something you should be going after. So like, please do continue working on your game, maybe rethink your scope, build upon what you've got so far, and just make, for example, your story like first branch. Make it linear and first, So like first you are making a very linear game. It has start and finish. It just doesn't really change depending on the choices. But then you can add the choice. You can change the course of events. You can then just alter, because you are going to have a base of your game. You are going to have a base as the first like basic route. And then you can make an update with 2 more routes, with 2 more endings. So now you have 3 routes with 3 endings in total. And that way you're going to limit your, like, you know, thing. You don't have to do everything from the get-go. No one does it. I haven't seen anyone besides AAA games working on a game start to finish without posting it on the internet just a little bit. Like, even all those games on Steam that are going on right now, from indie world, you can find most of them literally on itch.2 in a form of a demo. Why? Because they've started the same way. They've worked a little bit on the game, they've made the base of the game, shown the even technological demo, then they've upgraded the game, added a portion of it, and so on and so on and so on. And they've ended up with the version where they've ended up with the version that they could leave, and the very next version is going to land on Steam. And this is how they've done it. That's why I know you can do that, but I think like you really need some kind of like inspiration spell right now to actually get, you know, snap back to your usual self. You've told me literally the same thing when I was doing my game. Try to segment it. Don't do it all at the same time. And that way you're also that way you're also going to have this, you know, thing going on, right? You are going to already have resources. So you are going to already have the rigged characters, and you'll be able to reuse the rigging. You'll be able to copy and paste the hairs, you'll be able to copy and paste the character body structure, right? So like later on it's going to be copy and paste if the character is going to have the same kind of like hairstyle and such. Not really. Well, if you would split it, like every scene is very different. Oh, okay. But then like you still would be able to kind of look into your scenes, you know? Also, what about the exploring characters? And like the characters from like stuff, well, you know, it might be now a bit like very different thing, but because I might be confused about couple things, like what are we talking about and such, which project exactly, because like of course we are not going to talk about the project. It's an idea, I'm not sure it would increase the scope a lot. Well, shouldn't, because again, like if you, let's say you have a main character, the main character is always going to be the same, mostly. You'll just have to like change directions, rig it in a bit different way. I think isometric type of exploration to roguelike novel game. Yeah, so the isometric type of exploration, right? So you have a character of specific body type, and you have a base of it. You can reuse that base for something else, and then you're just placing on top of it the you're going to place on top of it the clothing and such. And the same clothing most likely is going to be separated, so you'll be able to like take that separated clothing and throw it on something else. Those are reusable, yeah. So those are going to be reusable, and if you're going to make the game with like even between game settings, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So you need to first make like your first... Try to focus right now on the novel type, because you'll be able to like insert scenes in between and add the exploration you want. So like that's not a big deal, is it? So like focus for now what's going to be I'm amazed by game companies like Rockstar. In their early stages, MFs had a different GTA character each year. Yeah. Are the point of that game? Yes. Well, like, try to think how many scenes you would have for the dialogues, the dialogue options. Make like some basic dialogue options that are not going to influence any kind of, you know, the story at all. Just progress it in a specific ending that you pick as the first ending you want to achieve. Finish it this way, and you have your base of the game. You have like, and you'll finish the dialogues, then the scenes you want to have in between the dialogues in them, and then you can think if you want to have the exploration in that too or not. And everything, single thing, I was thinking just using static images for stuff that's not that important. Do it, yeah. It's not going to be really, you know, that'll be it. Like, for example, I'm not planning to make God knows how advanced animations, but I'm not going to make animations for characters that are not going to be important at all. They're just going to be there, images, plain images, like because I know that it would take me way too long to animate everything of that. Even if I'm just going to change the image and not animate it in spine, even though I wish I could, but you know what I mean. I'm using Pixel Game Maker MV. Without them I have 120 plus scenes that should be animated. Yes, but it's for all of the endings, aren't it? Only one ending, like think smaller for now. Only one ending, very linear game, just to show off what the game is going to be, and just like talk about the endings. There are some visual novels I could like show you basically, which are doing that exact thing. They are like focusing for even some visual novels that are focusing on like character kind of thing. So they are focusing only on specific character. It has like 5 to 6 type of endings that are different. Yeah. So it's 120 plus scenes for 5 to 6 types of ending that are different. I know what you think of. Yeah. Just limit it. You don't have to finish it from the get-go. I believe in you, Zega. I really do. And don't think of those people, because I'm sure that their games are going to come out as very bad when you are going to finish yours finally. Because I know how much effort you are placing into your games. Really. Just try to push it. Maybe it's going to be difficult for you. Like, I know that because I've had similar kind of feeling when I was going around with drawing. I was comparing myself to others. That's why I'm always saying not to compare yourself to others, because it's always creating the same kind of toxic emotion in you, no matter what you're doing. You might be a musician, programmist, artist, sculpting, like sculptor. You might build hardware of some sort, robotics and such. And then you are trying to figure out some kind of prosthetic that is going to work on your brain wavelengths, so you'll be able to like learn how to use the third robotic arm on your own. And the guy is working on this, and looks how someone made like some cybernetic prosthetic for people, and just drops the entire project. Just because, oh, I'm never going to be like that, they've got money, I don't, I'm not going to have the same kind of hardware as they do. But like, it doesn't matter. I'm not a musician, I'm not a story writer, I'm a very shitty programmist. If anything, if even I can call myself like that, because I doubt at this point I know any languages. But like, I keep going with it. And I've seen other people's games, but I'm not comparing it to my game. My game is not their game. That's what makes the game unique. You don't have to research how to make your game unique. You can make yet another fantasy RPG where the character wakes up from a nightmare and just out of nowhere starts the adventure. But it's still going to be, you are going to pour your heart and soul, and it's going to be slightly different than others, and that's what matters. The same with drawing. Oh, all of those people have such good art styles, I'm never going to draw like them. Like, yeah. Because, for example, you've been drawing for only last month, right? So you've been drawing for only last month, and you're comparing yourself to people who spent like 10 years on that. So like, they have more experience. Man, you guys still on this? I'm in my, I don't know, I've just got into my, you know, if I wanted to pour my heart and soul, I would make different type of games, cyberpunk storytelling or space exploration. Well, then you see that you shouldn't even be caring as much if that game is going to turn out well or not, because it's not something that you want to do by heart. It's something you just want to do, a game. And you are going to make that game and you're going to have already rigged characters and such. What stands in your way to just reuse those things for another game for which you would make the cyberpunk storytelling or space exploration game? What stands in your way for that? Nothing. But you're already going to have previously made resources that you can reuse. You know? It's kind of how sometimes I want to cheat drawing, and I know that I've made the other eye good, so I just copy and paste the other eye. So yeah. Sorry for my yap session, I'm really sorry. I really want to make sure that people are not going to just, waste a possibility to create something, If you can make something out of nothing, if you have like slight idea, just go for it. No matter how many hardships you would have, that's like... It might be a cliche kind of talk, but projects without hardships are not really finished. There's at least one hardship every project, And like I know that for that project of mine, that illustration is just straight up going to be the background. Especially when it comes to Zega. Oh my... See, everyone believes in Yazaga. And GTA, actually, even for you, if you want to, get back to your games, why not coming back to your idea? At that time you maybe knew a little bit less, and sure, 3D stuff, but now Zega, for example, gave you the idea of using the mix ammo. So you just need to make the 3D model, rig it, and use Mixamo for animating. Or maybe someone is watching now, lurking from the shadows, and was thinking previously about getting like a, getting into drawing and just watches me now. Do it. What stands in your way? Someone wants to learn. I was thinking of something like Hearts of Iron 4 if you know that game, but instead of needing to graduate from college to play it, it's simpler. Well, that would work, Why not? to be fair, my goal, if I guess over years my goal changed. When I started this channel, I wanted to have a chill place where I could just have people coming around occasionally and I could talk with them while working on my stuff. And now I feel like I want people to just not surrender on their things. I've seen over years, in the past years, many people surrendering their projects, surrendering their dreams. Dreams are to be fulfilled. Of course, like, you have a dream to, like, marry an anime waifu, then, like, you know, of course, it might not be fulfillable. I guess gotta wait from Musk's cat girl, you know, genetically modified cat girl wives. I mean, yeah, I probably will start doing it on the game again, because my winter break is till January 19th. Yo, that's huge. I'm not your anime girl waifu, sad days. You are my dreamed anime girl waifu. Muto. Oh my. Yeah, I just want to motivate people to come back to their dreams, come back to their plans, ideas, because it's kind of like that meme. Like every gambler is like 99% of gamblers is ending before the huge win or something like that, and like every genius idea gets destroyed at the buds because of people who lost self-esteem into their own projects, into their own capabilities. Everyone can do anything. Of gamblers quit before they win big. Yeah, thank you, GTA. Thank you, exactly that one. So like, it's like gambling. Damn, this stream really became pretty. I'm gonna go now, bye bye. Bye bye, GTA, hope to see you soon too. You wanna have another stream tomorrow? And well, sleep well. So yeah, folks, like, I'm sorry that this stream became highly motivational, but I really want to be sure that it'll be known by everyone. Don't belittle yourself just because you've seen someone. Because you've got something else. You are not working on their project, you are working on your project. No matter what you are doing, if it's music, game, art, whatever. Oh my. I'm trying to decide on color for a character. Well, emotions of colors. Or just do one random, true. Or just do one random. All my colors are pastel. I guess you can choose very random. One. Blip. Blip. Also, folks, I hope you like the songs that are playing in the background today. Let me check if YouTube is like... Yeah, YouTube is not giving me any kind of warnings. That's cool. I like it. I like it. Also, folks, I really... Yeah. One more hour? Oh no. And I'm streaming for almost 2 hours too. I'm almost done with the sketch too. That's crazy. Also, I have a weird feeling that the songs loop nicely because I don't think I've heard any song repeat. Or like obviously repeat. Because for sure at this point we've had to go through the entire base. I don't want to go. You have to. You have to. Where? Appointment? Mm-hmm. I guess we need to add her sword now to the illustration. Hi, needy artist. Glad to have you here. How are you? How's it going? Hi, hi. Happy New Year. Thank you, thank you. You too. It's been some time since I have been here. How are you? I'm doing good, doing good. You know, just progressing things. We've done huge changes to our channel. Mostly changed the way how the thumbnails are looking. You know, change the links and well, links. Just basically changed some stuff. Oh, yeah. Like, we've changed the style of the thumbnails, we've changed the banner last year, the avatar. Well, I think if you were for that. If it's easier, you can keep calling me Star like before. It's okay. So, Star, how have you been? Haven't seen you in a long while. I'm doing good, actually. Oh, glad to hear it. I got E. Me too. I was busy with lots of studying, but I passed most of them, and as a reward, I'm getting my first cosplay. Hey, let's go! I'm so happy to hear. What you gonna cosplay? Ciel Phantom High from Black Butler, my absolute favorite anime. Oh, Ciel. That one. That will be cool. Yeah. Wait, Ciel is that boy with an eye patch, right? Sebastian was the butler, if I remember correctly. Yep. My Black Butler obsession keeps coming back, it's so good. Oh my. Hey kid, glad to be here. How are you? Hope how's going? I think this is the first time seeing around, so hope we find a comfy corner here. How are you? On the hunt for small art YouTubers that would want to do magma? Sure. And just new ones to subscribe to. I'll be glad to guest you here. And yeah, I guess I could do some magma drawing, you know. Good, how about you? Doing good, doing good. Doing absolutely good. We're almost done with yet another illustration. That makes me really happy, you know? I've been thinking about making my own VTuber. Well, it's not really that difficult as a lot of people try to portray it. So I guess go for it, you know? For sure. My computer won't launch OBS or Live 2D. Oh. We should do a magma stream, Han. Yeah, that would be cool. Hmm. That's something to keep in the mind. I have Magma, or I was already pondering Magma for a while now. Yeah. If you can't launch OBS, that might be difficult for Live 2D. It's not necessarily like that such a huge need. You can use reactive images, so you can create a server for yourself, enter some kind of conversation on like a private Discord server or something, and just use that as your model. Also, there are much easier softwares for becoming a PNG tuber, which are already having, like, you know, voice activation and stuff, so you are still going to be slightly animated, but it's not going to be like fully rigged one. And I don't think you need such thing. Like, a lot of people would say, okay, yeah, that's cool to see, but it's just cool to see. What you end up with, it's like, you know, mostly based on people's financial capabilities. So like, not everyone is getting like fully rigged live, you know, cubism live 2D avatar, you know. Also, you can use VRoid. Maybe VRoid is going to work on your thing. I'm personally using I've made the model myself in VRoid Studio, and I'm using Warudo for the thing. By the way, my microwave broke. Star. Oh my. Again? What were you microwaving now? I was thinking using Live 2D by myself and drawing a model. What happened to it? Yeah. Star, give us the details. We were pondering if your microwave is going to actually last. But about that, well, making a model yourself, it's very difficult. I was trying to do the same thing because, like, you know, I'm drawing, I can do things myself. But cutting everything down, rigging it, making meshes, also Cubism Live 2Ds, giving you only a trial, so it's like going to be, for me it was just a lot of work. I'm not telling not to try it, go ahead. You can try, but it was just a lot of work for me, personally. So, one of the things you can try with PNG tubing, you can try with VRoid VTuber model, and when you are going to already be around, you know, down with, you already have your own model, you'll be able to stream. You can actually stream making your own model. That's what I've seen that a lot of people are doing nowadays too. Really good kickstart, you know. For some reason, Live 2D in the streams title is like making people click a lot. If that's what you're going for, the clicks, you know. So I saw on TikTok and saw that eggs explode with microwave, so I shoved like 20 eggs into the microwave, replaced the first saw with was. Oh, so I was on TikTok, okay. Grammar, yeah, oh my. Oh my. Actually, Star, you are dyslexic, right? Or it was someone else that was reckless. I think I remember either you or someone else saying that they were dyslexic. I'm sorry if you are not, like, really. I am so sorry. No, I'm not. Okay, that was someone else. I'm so sorry. That was such a miss. God damn. English is not my native language. Well, that's good explanation. It's not my first language too. I'm just, you know, I feel like I'm better with talking than writing. Even though I'm apparently I've been saying my entire life couple of words wrong, like vehicle. Oh my. Beard, yeah. English is just my native language. Yeah. Yep. I'm better in writing, except I'm not good with that either. I'm white American. Oh no. That's alright. I'm white and Polish. I've never been to English. I'm white and from Germany. Let's go. Actually, why does that matter? What race someone is? It doesn't. We're all equal. As an English-speaking American, I can say English is weird as... It makes zero sense. Yeah, like that, you know, like those rules. That I can't become after E, and except for weight, height, and a bunch of other words that actually break that rule. I remember someone tried to correct me with this, and I like, what do you mean? What even is that rule? Exactly. I was gonna say that. Oh my. I don't know who was making English language rules, but they were definitely drunk a little bit. I before E and never C? I think. Icon? I love it. I love it. Cool rules. Cool rules. Yeah. It's one of those. I don't remember, I just know it since birth, yeah. Holy disco notifs, yeah. I always have problem with strength, height, weight, width, etc. Why? Oh, because they might be making different sounds. Okay, yeah. DHTTH, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh my. Especially because they pronounce strength as strength. They pronounce strength as strength. Strength. Yeah. I guess it also depends on the English. Because some say strength, so the TH is softened out and makes noise. But then some iterations of the English accents are saying strength with hard T. What's the difference? Hard T and soft T. So th or t noises. What about the sheath? Because it's sword sheath, but sheet of paper. Not going to write a lot because I'm doing an essay right now. Alrighty, get those good grades. Okay, I think I've got it. So we've got C. Oh my. So we've managed to draw the sketch. It took us 2 hours and 23 minutes. Cool. I hate school. You should go to school now. Alrighty, folks. Huge thanks for newcomers, actually, Kit and GTA for coming around and sticking up with us. She looks like Akame. Yeah, because that's exactly what we've been drawing. Akame from Akame ga Kill. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we are going to... Wait, let me just pick art. Thank you. Let me just hide... cue the music... Kill the music. Yeah! So, I'm really happy. Thank you all for coming around. Again, huge thanks for the newcomers, Keith and GTA. Hope to see you in the next streams, especially. Hope you've got your comfy place in here. And meanwhile, folks, as always, stay creative. Well, actually, thanks Muto and Zega for being active chat on Twitch. Thanks always, Addison, Jocksign, Maurice, Skylar, GTA, Dan, Star, and Kate for being active chat on YouTube. As always, folks, stay creative. I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care.